We learned many things from the Civic Near experience. Issue 1.
Compromise is essential. We realize that not everyone will always agree, but we feel it is important that people work together for our country to succeed.
The legislative events in West Korea did not go as smoothly as planned. Both parties, Republicans and Rhine-Apples, had conflicting ideas about what was best for our country.
Well, some people, like in life, were more focused on their personal agendas rather than the well-being of the country.
Yes, for example, Bryce proposed a bill about the environment, which would help my hidden agenda, so I was all for passing it.
But the changes made in class were too much compromise for him and his party, and he rejected the passing of his own bill.
This relates to real life, because not everyone is going to get what they want. Yet at the same time, compromise needs to occur to help as many people as possible.
Issue 2.
War is never the answer. Kyle, very frustrated from the second legislative event, attempted to start a crisis vote.
He tried to include us in the process and asked our opinion since we were in the unhappy Rhine-Apple party.
Kyle sent to us his proposal. It reads, Citizens of Bloc 6 Government. I regret to inform you that West Korea is no longer a representative democracy, but a type of oligarchy run by an elite group of government officials. No fingers will be pointed at any parties, because I feel as though Republicans and Rhine-Apples alike are not being represented by the majority of our government. In fact, I welcome any who share in my views of not being represented, and I know the opposition will argue that this legislative event was simply a tide reversal from last year, but that is sadly not the case. If we have done what you have this year, all necessary hexes would be government-owned and our officials would put off anything said on the forum by the other party. But this is not how it went. It was not a tide reversal. It was anarchy. And personally, I refuse to sit idly by while my views are being shut down, and I hope you feel the same. We can stop all of this by simply denying authority, and by doing that, potentially force a crisis vote. For those of you who don't know, the crisis vote comes into play when there is a refusal of authority or absolutely nothing is happening in the economy. In this case, a new government would need to be proposed, and the citizens would vote to put it into play. If 75% of the class adopts this new government, it comes into play. It's risky, but I propose a direct democracy. Everyone would be heard indefinitely, and anyone can propose laws to better the country rather than the elite group in our current oligarchy. Any type of government can be proposed. So, my friends, I attempt to start an uprising to force a crisis vote. If successful, we regain a clean slate. So I ask you, who will join the uprising?
Our class decided, after much thought, not to continue the crisis vote. We realized it simulated war, and the consequences of death, loss of money, and property were disastrous. The costs were outweighed by the benefits of not having a crisis vote and keeping the government the same.
Issue 3. Money is important.
Patsy and I know firsthand the importance of a good government program for the poor. Being a humanitarian really helped me see the large gap between the rich and the poor in West Korea.
This being said, the government money received from welfare or charity programs should not be relied on as an income. It should be seen as a helping hand to get you on your feet.
We both experienced this issue. Neither Patsy or I owned a Hickox and had no reliable source of income.
Relying on government money was not the ideal plan.
Yeah, we both barely consumed food and shelter, and it led to a lot of stress.
After 2001, I was left with only $88 before government money.
Private charity provided us with $1,700, which, while generous, would not be enough to survive another year.
The things we have learned from Civic Near will help us in our future lives.
We will attempt to compromise, avoid war, and have success in the workforce so as not to live off of government money.
Thank you, Ms. Shackett, for providing us with this simulation.
We will remember these influential lessons for the rest of our lives.